Hey guys, got another 15-minute on the go here. Played a really instructive game yesterday that I'm going to share with you over the next couple of videos, where there was a lot of exchanges happening very quickly, and each time my opponent seemed to be happy to go ahead with the exchanges and made the moves quite quickly. But at the end, totally forgot that it's not just about sort of takes. If he goes there, I go there kind of thing. He totally forgot about what the position may look like at the end and my final move after all the exchanges had taken place. So I'm looking to go over that game with you, because not only did it happen once in the game, it happened twice, and resulting in bad positions for him both times. So it's a good instructive game, I think, to look at. So we'll look at that over the next couple of videos. So we're playing semi-rated Fatih, or Fatih, 1729 from Tunisia, no, Turkey, my apologies. And he's playing the Sicilian defence, so we're going to play the Grand Prix attack, which is the F4 push early on here. So this kind of setup. I actually have a DVD on this by a English grandmaster called Gawain Jones. It's very instructive, actually. It's a good video. So, see if I can remember any of it. Really? I think we'll leave that there for the moment. Just develop. He's threatened to play queen here, check. Right, okay. So we're making this pawn capture in the centre. He's not developing his pieces. So I'm going to bring my pieces to good squares, attacking his king side here. I think my next plan is going to be playing maybe d3 or d4, but I think d3 for the moment, and we're going to attack this here. Right, so now he really is threatening to come and play a check on my king. So I'm going to castle here first then. He may try and support this pawn with g5. If you notice, his queen and bishop protect the square g5, so pushing the pawn to protect it would be quite a positionally good move. The only thing it does wrong for position, really, I think, is it opens this king side up, so it doesn't look like he'll castle there anytime soon. Anyway, he hasn't played that, so I think we're going to go ahead. Let's have a look. d4 or d3. Let's have a look at these variations here. Notice how there's no real bishop takes on f7 check, because this square is covered and there's nothing I'm winning behind the knight when it moves for the next check either. So just to run over that, sometimes you'll have white's light square bishop here with no real protection, hoping to pin the knight to the queen. You probably see this in quite a few openings, and you will see this familiar theme come up where bishop takes on f7 check, king takes, and the knight will come either to e5 or g5 for check again, and when that knight moves, it actually opens the queen up to capture whatever's behind it there. So it's a nice little idea to use maybe in your games also. So let's have a look. I'd like to finish my development. I'm better in development, so I'm going to finish doing that. The question is, what's the best way to do it? Do I play the solid sort of d3 move, looking to take on here, or do I push d4 immediately and look to break up this centre and get some pressure on the king side here? Because that's the other thing as well. If we can take away a lot of these pawns, he's not going to have much protection for his king, and we want to do that when his king's in the centre. So I think maybe we have to look at playing aggressively. The only thing is, if I play d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, he may play just knight f6. And what have I got from that? I suppose I can play maybe knight d5 on the bishop afterwards. But what is it really getting me? I suppose I've got this pawn also collapsing with the bishop. So this could be a good idea, if for nothing else, to push maybe d5 and get this knight out of place a little. So I like this sort of idea, playing quite aggressively in the centre here. Yeah, so we'll take this way. knight more than likely will... Ah, he doesn't. He hits the bishop here instead. Okay. I've got to admit I didn't look at this. I didn't see it being hugely great. I can't... It doesn't feel right. The reason why I say I can't see it being hugely great is that it doesn't feel right to move this same piece a couple of times in the opening, not developing. And his knight may not be best placed on this square anyway. Okay. Maybe just drop the bishop back for the moment. If I drop the bishop back, maybe later I'll have ideas of going queen here to h5, and I'm threatening a possible mate on here once this crazily placed knight moves. Let's have a look at any other candidate moves here. Yes, maybe queen e2, knight takes, queen takes. I still can't really get much on here. Saying that bishop b2, bishop e6. Do I want to give him a good centre again with bishop takes bishop and pawn takes? Then he's got 3 pawns then. There'll be a pawn on d6, pawn on e6 and a pawn on f4, which I'll be cleaning up anyway with the bishop in a moment. It looks like I should be even better again here than I am, but let's see the best way to do it. I mean, bishop check, bishop to d7. And then maybe, well, I've got to be careful as well because my king is quite exposed here on g1 to this diagonal, and he can play queen b6 check at some point, or maybe queen b6 and just pin the knight here to my king. Okay, so I do have an isolated pawn here in the centre. So does he. Maybe I should just pop back for the moment. I'm looking to pick this pawn up anyway. g5 now I don't like. But maybe it's not so bad. And there you go. Yeah, maybe it's not so bad. I was just thinking that knight in here, I don't remember his king's in the centre. He's kind of weak. I mean, where's he going to castle? I don't see where's good. So is now the time to play moves like queen h5. There's a lot of pressure on there then. Queen h5, and then you know everyone might be asking what's this knight doing though it's protecting it. But after knight f3, oh, after knight f3, bishop here. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so look at other ideas. Knight f5 on the bishop. If the bishop moves here, I'm picking this pawn up. If the bishop moves back to f8, it's really not doing its job, I guess, hugely well. Because we're kind of undeveloping a piece there, so I say if not though, I get this bishop pair again, which should be good for me now the board's opening up a little. So I think this is all round probably one of the better moves to play in this position. Again, I do have to watch for moves like queen b6 check, picking up anything that lands on this rank here. But I do also have ideas if I can get a knight there. I might have bishop check here and okay. So I'm happy to get this bishop pair. This pawn may become a nuisance later anyway. Right. Okay, so my bishop here isn't looking great at the moment. So should we undermine this pawn by playing h4? Yes, it weakens my king side then though as well, that is true. h4, pawn takes, bishop takes. Also looks quite nice for me. I'm not sure where his king is going to castle, but yeah, possibly moving this pawn isn't the best in front of my king. It's a little dangerous, but so look at other checks here. So bishop check. You got knight e7 or knight d7 or knight c6. If he plays knight c6, I don't really want to take it because it'll be good pawn structure for him, and I'll be losing my bishop pair. So I think I want to just go ahead and free this bishop a little bit. I mean, you could play h6 though. h6 is a nice idea. Right, okay. So remember, I want to open this up, so I don't mind if he actually takes that for a move. So now I'm going to have a little look at playing moves like this now. Queen e2. Why am I playing queen e2? It gets the queen off the back rank, still protects the light squares, and also I've got nice pressure on this e-file, and I want to play maybe knight e4 here to try and trade off one of his defending pieces of whatever he's trying to defend, because like I said, I don't know where his king's going to castle here. I think if I can get one of these knights off as well, my bishop pair will start to come alive. Because look at his dark square bishop. He has 2 pawns on light squares, but all the other pawns are on dark squares. So he's going to find a hard time jumping around these for the moment. Okay, so just king h1. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about that anymore, that diagonal, so much. Not at the moment, anyway. Maybe now knight e5 though. Knight e5 is really threatening the bishop pair totally for him here. I think with this board becoming open, it's going to favour me in the end. So, I mean, have a look at this position. Would you consider maybe even sacrificing a pawn here? Like, for instance, this h4 move. I mean, if he takes, he's going to have this rook on the g-file. But is it really any threat right now? We've always got to watch for queen c6, that's for sure. To looking at mating over here at some point. We have to watch for that. But truthfully, I mean, yeah, and I was looking at this. I was a little worried about this because of knight f2 check. But I think he's just losing a piece. Knight f2 and then just rook takes. So knight here now. Where does the queen go? That's the question. I like this move. So it's a difficult position to play though, but the looks of it, I might not be playing this correctly. Just looking at what feels best here. Okay, so what is this move about? He wants to look, he's thinking I might fork here maybe, and he wants to look after that. But can I just push up now, maybe? I mean, if I can push up, no, because maybe knight takes here. Okay, so knight takes, king takes. Okay, let's do this. Knight takes. I guess king takes. And then I'd play bishop d2. I can finally connect the rooks here. Get rooks on the open files in the centre. Maybe looking at playing a3 and bishop b4 in future also. because this knight could become a liability. If he starts taking with the pawn, we might have this little fork going, so we're going to go for this. Yeah, so he protects that knight. That's a nice move. I haven't got much time here, so I have to play quite quickly. So a3 for the threat of bishop b4. Rook d1, rook e1. I'm not sure he has enough here to start checkmating me or anything. Notice how I don't want to take here, because obviously pawn takes is ridiculous. He's obviously mating me there. So yeah, and you've seen that, of course you've seen that as well. Because now after maybe bishop c3 here, my idea, as well as taking the semi-open file, is to get my rook up here, attacking the queen and knight, like this. But like I say, I haven't got a huge amount of time, so I have to speed up on the clock a little. I have to say he's played this very, very well. Well, maybe I've played it awfully. 18-12, respectable. Yeah, maybe I've just messed this up somehow. I don't know. I just feel I should be better. There are a lot of pawns on the board, but I still feel after bishop c3. Right, okay, so he's forcing some sort of trade of pieces here now. He wants to... So bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. If rook underneath, knight here is protecting the pawn. The ideas come in here though. Just giving a rook up. Queen h5. Or maybe I can go this way. Bishop takes. So bishop c3, knight takes rook, bishop takes. I don't think I should give that up. If queen takes, can I play maybe queen here? Ah, he plays with a rook here, so this is my idea. I guess queen b6 or queen a7 might double up then. He'll play rook over. Yes. Might play rook over and then I'm going to go here. Notice how he can't push because queen takes pawn. I am also threatening rook takes knight and then queen here for mate. So let's just check that again. Rook takes check. Rook takes queen there. Looks good. So it's check. He has to respond. If he takes with a pawn, then it's mate. If he doesn't take, I can pick this up. So I'm up a piece. So yeah, maybe he messed that up there at the end. Yeah, I think here though. Yeah, good game. I think I might have messed that up actually. Please post where you think I should have played differently, maybe on that in that game. Like I say, the outcome was obviously good for me in the end, but maybe he was totally winning there. It felt like it towards the end. So let's have a quick look over the game. So playing this Grand Prix attack, it didn't actually end up being anything really like the Grand Prix I've seen. But you've just got to go with what you've got to go with, you know. in the game. So I haven't experienced many positions like this before. Bishop b3. I feel this is best. I mean, I want to keep this bishop on this diagonal. I think that's where it's going to be best placed throughout the game. I don't want to start dropping it back. Like I said, I want to keep that bishop pair if we're opening stuff up. So I think this was nice as well. I mean, like I said, I don't mind trading for this bishop pair, but maybe I should have waited. Maybe just knight f3 directly. So bring the knight back to f3 and look to trade those knights off. So knight f3, if knight takes, queen takes. And I'm still threatening to go queen h5 and queen h7. Maybe that was better. So just to recap that, knight f3, if knight takes knight, queen takes. And with my idea then of my queen staying on this diagonal, go into h5 and then hopefully mating over here. Look, he doesn't have a move like knight h6 to protect that because the queen being on h5 will take. Like I say, if he knows this, if he can see that idea, he'll play knight h6 first. And then if I go queen h5, he might play bishop f8. Again, admittedly, it doesn't look great for him because he's kind of undeveloping this bishop. But maybe he's going to go to g7 later on this nice diagonal. So again, these are nice little ideas to have a look at in your games too, that you can play. So, in hindsight, maybe it wasn't best, but okay, I still felt I was okay here. This is slightly weakening my king side. I mentioned that in the game, and I just don't see him castling. Maybe I should have waited before this also, because then if he'd have castled that side, I think h4 push is good. Yeah, so notice at no real point do I want to take that pawn, opening his rook up. That would kind of be suicidal. So, now I definitely don't want to take it, because it would be mate. Okay. Yep, so I'm on the queen. He plays here, and I think, yeah, the only reason for that square was because of knight c7 check, winning the rook. So I think, I mean, he could play over to c6 here, but what is he actually getting after I play that? He's not getting a huge amount. He wants to stay on these dark squares really, because he's always got the he's always got to keep me watching an eye over h takes g5 there for mate. If he starts going to light squares, I might at some point be able to do that. So okay, get the bishop pair off. I was running low on time here. What move is this? Actually, can we go back? Move 17, so I was running quite low on time here. In most of my games I tend to use most of my time, actually, if you've noticed that already. So I think there's probably a lesson in that as well, not to move overly quick all the time, especially in 15-minute. I mean, I still had 2 minutes 17 left at the end, right? What was I worried about? So rook d1. I think this is also good because you get this d-file, and I think that pawn also can become weak. You know, if at the moment it's looked after by the queen and the king, two pieces you don't really want defending a pawn, which is protecting a knight. I felt I had to swap off here. I think he should have played queen takes. I think if it was me and I was playing as black, I would play queen takes here, looking to play queen takes, pawn takes, and then if trying to step a rook underneath, then you know, knight here is pretty dangerous because the knight will then look after e3, the pawn that's there. So just to go over that again, queen takes on e3, queen takes, pawn takes, and yeah, he's going to play knight here on his next move really to look after that. The other threat he's got as well, of course, is knight f2 check, and that can be dangerous if we move the wrong rook over. So these are things I'm looking at in the game if I was playing as black. This is almost always a good move in these kind of positions if you get this sort of a double attack, because it then led, as you saw in the end, to a very nice mating idea. So I kept this. I saw these light squares were quite weak here, and I got the light square bishop 2, and these light squares are weak, and I think that's pretty much what collapsed him in the end, was this colour complex. So yeah, here's just purely spotting the tactic to win the piece. So notice he's not pinned or anything, but no matter how he recaptures here, I'm going to be playing queen here I think his move should be probably just king moves over, and then if queen check, king up here, and then just rook takes, and I'm up the pawn there and a piece. So it's winning either way there. So maybe just got a bit, maybe just got very excited towards the end and seeing my pieces, you know, a lot of pressure down here. Yeah, good game actually. You know, I enjoyed that. So I'm hopefully going to go over the other game I played with all the exchanges for you guys in the next couple of videos. And I'll yeah, if you've got any questions or comments, please put them underneath the video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon.